It worked. That's an awesome pizza. I don't care what anybody says.
Great.
Thank you.
That's right there. I don't care what he says.
I had to pay for
I
that.
like it.
It cost me a lot of money to steal that from somebody.
I think
Dr. Anthony's having a stroke right now below me. But hello, everybody.
I was pretending. It was acting.
He's going to start a drama club here later on. I'll send you his email. Welcome, everybody. Now, just as a reminder, this is not an every week thing. This is only whenever I have Fridays off. Because normally I'm going to bed after this stream with Ed.
Kind of.
Normally you're going to bed with Ed? What?
Yeah. That's what you meant after Ed's show. You know what the hell I meant.
That's why I went with kinda.
I don't judge. I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
This is 2023.
He just muted himself.
Whatever makes you happy.
I wonder if he has gas because he's muted himself.
No, I did that for a reason.
That's what we were figuring.
His wife was yelling at him.
No,
his eyes didn't flutter, so you can tell when he's farting and his eyes flutter. I've seen it in person. His eyes go like, I don't know if it's tickling something when it comes out or what, but his eyes always flutter.
It's a relief, I can tell you that.
Do you have a topic tonight, Skipper? What are we going to talk about?
No, dang well, I never have a topic.
Well, can I ask you a question?
I don't know. Is it good or bad?
It's a Keystone Clash question.
Oh, are we having that this year?
Yes, and you're involved. And I was wondering, is there any word on when the Scape Off competition's going to be announced?
When I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm not ready yet.
You want to see what I bought today?
Actually, one of the things I wanted to do before it going live is I wanted to get a lot of the donations ready so that whenever we send a letter and stuff out, I want to have everything together. I just don't want it to be blam, this is what it is. I want it to be pretty much ready. You know, like I want on this letter, whenever we post it up there, who's donating what for your Aquascape stuff.
I have to say, Scotty sent me a message yesterday and said that somebody had paid for Michelle and I to go to the Clash. Bought our tickets, not the hotel and stuff, but bought our tickets to the. We've been struggling a little bit, and I was, going to make it happen, but somebody went ahead and bought those tickets, and only a couple people really knew that we were having any kind of issues, and so I sort of think I know who it was, but it was just super cool that somebody would reach out and do that, and that was amazing that they did that.
That was cool. Whoever did that.
I don't know who it is. I don't know who. He said it was an anonymous person. They didn't want to. So whoever that person was, or group of people, whoever, okay. I appreciate that, and thank you so much. That's amazing.
I have an idea who it is, but he ain't going to say who it is.
Not even sure if we're going to be able to make it because of other stuff as far as that all goes. So
weddings?
I'll know. Sorry?
Weddings?
No, nothing like that. I would go to the Clash over a wedding.
Right?
Your sons? Your sons?
Yeah, even his sons.
See, that's why I said, are you going to go to their wedding?
I'm sure they'll have another one at some point. I mean,
Yeah, you just got to talk them into renewing their vow.
Wait, you should have said he'll have another
wedding.
Yeah,
he'll have another wedding.
Yeah.
They. I mean, if that did happen, I'm not aware of that time, but if that did happen, yeah, of course I would be going to one of those types of events. No, it was other stuff coming up. So, hi-chew.
Ooh,
I got it.
Hi-chew.
Bless
I got him in a shipment of shrimp food They sent high chews as a little gifts.
Well, what is a high chew?
I don't know. I've never heard of high chews before.
Does it have 7 different flavors? It's like a haiku, only it's a high chew.
This is
Wait.
pineapple.
No, it's
Are
only
you
one
sure
flavor.
you're reading it correctly? Maybe you're saying it upside down.
There is
What is it upside down?
kiwi.
Mech.
Me check.
Is
Hi.
it
Hi.
candy?
And dragon fruit.
All right, you
Oh.
gotta pick one up and eat it here on
I'm
stream.
gonna try. I'm gonna eat one. So I'm gonna try
I'm
the
interested.
dragon fruit. Oh, there's like little taffies.
Oh,
They look good.
Oh,
Oh, not
I
bad.
like those.
It looks like a fruity Tootsie Roll. Not Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
No,
What's the
it's
other
like
one?
it's like
The
Tootsie
filled
Roll, the
Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
Tootsie-
little Tootsie
What were they
Roll thing.
called?
they
What
they
were
make
they?
they make Twizzlers with that stuff in it.
Scuba Steve.
Huh. Scuba
Wow.
Steve said high chews are good like fruity candies.
I never.
I've
I've
heard
never
of
had a high chews.
No, neither have
Starburst
I.
is better, Ken's 3D says. Laffy Taffy. What was the little ones though? The ones that were they was a Tootsie Roll that was a fruit flavor with like a cream filling or something. What was that?
Yeah, I
it.
know.
That was before my time.
I don't remember.
I don't remember that.
They were so good. They came in different colored foil, and they were the shape of a little, the shape of a little Tootsie Roll.
Oh, those were grandma candies.
Does
Fruity,
that-
Scuba Steve says.
Fruity Rolls. You still
Fruity
get them?
Rolls. Lady Rorschach says you can still get them.
Really, fruity rolls? I never heard of that.
Never heard of
Lady
Fruity Rolls.
Rorschach
I
knows a
gotta go
lot.
look at them. Gotta go look at them.
There is a store. Well, okay, there used to be a grocery store that you could go and buy. It was kind of like penny candy, but you could buy it by the pound. Like
Was it
all-
Bob's
those are
IGA?
Bob's
Bob's
IGA.
IGA, you could do that. They
There's
had
a
it in
store
big
in
barrels.
LA that has all the old style candies. 0 bars, you name it, they have the old ones.
I don't know.
I noticed I changed my name to Rock.
Yeah, I know. I
Lady
like,
Because
Rorschach.
I was like,
There you
why
go.
did somebody just call me Rock? VFA called me Rock, and I was like, oh yeah, I did that.
it's
But
10.
she said
Yep.
they're actually a fruit Tootsie Roll. Let me see if that's what. God, they
I don't. I never.
they were like foil wrapped, a bunch of different colors. Yeah, this looks well. I don't know.
No, that was in your college days when you got the full wrap little candies in different colors. Yeah,
Sometimes they were like
candies.
almost like a plastic gel credit card, even. I don't know if these are it. They do look, sort of like what I'm thinking of. Maybe I'm getting stuff confused in my head. That's because these do look like it, but they're not the foil wrapped ones that I was thinking of. Maybe they've changed the wrapper, like in the last. Because I definitely have these. I don't know what I'm thinking of.
Whose are those? And
It's probably not even real. Probably just made it up.
They were. Oh, I thought you were saying those corridors were good.
No.
I was talking about.
The Corys aren't real. The remote control.
It's one of the tanks for the Awazi counter at
Mikey.
Aquashella.
That looks like the Millennium Corridors.
Does Aquashella
That's
have
cool.
speakers at it there, Ed?
Yep. I think we're all booked on the first round, but I
Jeez,
can
thanks a
mention
lot,
something in
Ed.
the next one if you want.
Thanks a lot.
Well,
I
the
gotta tell
one
you,
thing we've kind of argued about is, I need to say this in a not offensive way,
Uh-oh.
but there's
You'll
a
fail.
group of us that would like to have more, not intelligent in speakers, but
Leave
I don't
me
wanna
out
say
then
more
if you
legit.
need a
no
television.
matter what I say, it's going to sound bad. But because Aquashella is a big YouTuber event, they
Yeah.
mostly have people with 500,000 plus
Yep.
channels instead of doctors and cool, or not that they're not cool, but you know
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
Hold on a second. Hold up. Time out.
And
I've
those
seen
guys
him.
like John and Jason are amazing.
Well,
Jason's a professor.
He would be perfect for it.
Oh, I agree.
I've
It-
seen
and-
his talk. It's great.
Well, and you know what? We had an open spot,
Rocks. maybe
and
that.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say who we're trying to get,
Probably not.
but he's a much smaller channel that has a couple of great talks. And Dr. Anthony knows him personally.
I know him personally.
Yep. But that's all I can say.
I would be a better speaker than him.
I would. Oh man, I wish I could have seen you in Florida. That would have been so cool. But we finally convinced them to let us have more of a you know what I'm trying to say, a professional type talker. And I mean, I'm still not trying to take anything away from Serpa. You know, he's an amazing guy, Tanner, and John is really good from KG, and Jason always does one. And then they always have like 4 of the big saltwater people. And then like if Joey shows up, he gets to do one. You know, they do. So they go for the really big name guys that the kids like.
Of course,
more
yeah.
than the people.
Yeah.
It's nothing, but Aquashell is not really like a fish club show
Mm.
anyway. It's more of a
That's all it was. Sorry, Ed. Keep going. Keep going, Ed.
it's more of a party event, fish event. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I've had those.
That's what I was getting confused with. That's what it was. But Lady Rorschach got those, or maybe it was Kenny too. But yeah, those
Brock.
those
Yeah.
were what I was thinking
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Those were. I love those candies. Those are delicious.
So I guess it wasn't before my time. They're good.
And I think they changed though because
They changed the wrapper.
yeah, they had a lot more fancy mayonnaise looking one.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise, you said?
Yeah. Don't you remember the fancy mayonnaise talk? We had a fancy mayonnaise talk in the last stream.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay.
Fancy mayonnaise girls.
Yeah.
Nancy mayonnaise girls with popsicle sticks slapping it on a piece of bread.
Oh my god, it's gross and it turns me on at the same time. All right, Dr. Anthony, what's the difference between an erection and a cheeseburger?
Don't know. Don't know.
You're not giving me a cheeseburger right now.
I was gonna say you'll only see me eat a hamburger. Cheeseburger.
Rico can get a cheeseburger, Scuba Steve. That's pretty funny too, though. Rico can get a cheeseburger. That's pretty funny too.
That's great.
Oh my god.
It's 20 after 11 on the East Coast, so we're allowed. And it's good to see you, Mikey Mike.
And I don't care because I ain't monetized.
Yeah.
Even if I was
Still, caramel apple pie. If you go, I want to go. Believe me, people. It's just I shouldn't have said anything. I should have brought it up. I just want to say thank you, and I said too much, like I always do.
Oh, what are you
I was going to say nothing. You can fit both in your mouth. Oh, gross, Kenny.
Oh, that ain't right.
that ain't right. Yes, sir.
Do trees poop?
Dude, trees poop.
Pine trees do.
I'm going to say yes.
You're correct. Where do you think they get number 2 pencils?
Oh,
All right. That was
Good dad
a
joke.
bad dad joke. Whenever I hear a good one, I save it for either Doug Gray or for I'm saving some up for George.
Kyle loves those too. Kyle loves dad jokes. Kyle from Kyle and Bex.
aviators.
Kyle loves dad jokes. Anytime I see one like on TikTok or something, I share it with him.
I have a joke, but it would be I don't know how to say it without being offensive to somebody. So, I usually say it about our students at my university because that's, it's always good to laugh at our own students.
Yeah.
You can make
you
fun
want
of
me to
any
tell it?
college students with us.
Oh no, okay. So Skipper walks into a library. So I'll make fun of Skipper.
Ah,
He walks up to the library and says,
Skipper in
I
a
want a
library.
hamburger, Coke, and fries.
Hamburger,
again.
Coke, and fry.
Yeah. The librarian looks at him and said, what? I want a hamburger, Coke, and fries. And on it now. I said, you want a hamburger, Coke, and fries? Yes, that's what I said. I want a hamburger, Coke, and fries. Librarian looks at him and say, you're in a library. Oh, I want a hamburger, Coke, and fries.
I totally see Skipper doing it, but I don't think he'd know about whispering in a library.
Okay.
No, not me. I ain't whispering in the library. They gonna know I'm there. Oh, that's a good one.
When I go there, I want my pizza.
I used to work at a liquor distributor, and I was I was responsible for making sure stuff ran, but not the conveyor belt. I didn't work on the conveyor, but I worked with. I did all the controllers and stuff for the conveyor, so I didn't get greasy very much working on the controller. One night I had to on the conveyor belt. I mean, and I got pretty dirty, and the maintenance guy was like, he loved it just because I got dirty. He was loving it. And I was like, I know, it's almost like you reading a book, huh? He didn't like that as much.
Oh, that's great.
I like
He just gave me a look and walked out.
So, Dr. Anthony, do you read good books or do you only read smart books?
Good books.
Good books. To tell you the truth, I do read, but I hate reading because I have to do it for my job. I'm constantly reading. But yeah, I've read a couple of good books. I have my favorite authors that I like to read when they have something come out. My wife's an avid reader. She'll read a book a day. Oh, wow. So, but yeah, I read occasionally. Yeah.
What kind of what genres do you like?
I like some sci-fi. I like some science-based type books. I like Dan Brown. I like Nelson DeMille. Those probably are my two favorite authors. And I started reading Dan Brown way before all his movies came out with, all that
Neil Stevenson. Have you ever read any of Neil Stevenson books?
No.
A lot of really good ones. I love him. A lot of his books are very, they're technical. They're about hacking in the future and stuff. But he also has a lot of books that go way back into the past and start talking about alternate history type stuff, with some of our great philosophers and scientists from, the Renaissance and stuff. It's just, and he ties it all together so that some of the people that star in the books from way back then are doing things in the Philippines now and stuff like that. And it's all sort of tied together. It's really interesting. Love it.
On my free time, the most I read are the subtitles on the TV when I have to lower the sound. That's about it.
Gotcha. I've been getting back into reading because when I got involved with the Fish Fam, I sort of stopped.
Yeah.
I really slowed down. I shouldn't say I stopped, but I really slowed down. So I've been making a very strong effort to get back into reading again. I loaded up a bunch of books on my Kindle, and every day I read at least a few pages every single day. I make sure to read. See you, Whip. Good to see you too.
Night, Whip. Here is a book line that maybe you would know something about, maybe you wouldn't. But I was asking Sam Scales because I was he gets hired by the San Diego Zoo to make habitats for the zoo and stuff. And I wanted to know what types of paints that they use at aquariums and zoos that are safe for the plants, or not for the fish and the invertebrates and things. And then I found out there's actually a degree that you can get. It's called habitat or design, or it's some type of like a zookeeper degree on building things. And we had a guy here in town that's a professional guy. He goes all over the country making zoo habitats, and he had a fish store and a pond store, but he's got stuck in a child molestation case. So I'm not going to ask him for help now. But he's English though, so I haven't seen him. Maybe he went back to England. I don't know. But we haven't heard what's going on with his shop. But it used to be a really fun shop. Bob Taylor and I would go there, and it was like a shop from the 70s.
Yeah, maybe that was his guise to get in kids, you know.
We had a children's zoo.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
it's very
He had
suspicious,
kids
though.
He had kids in cages.
Yeah, kids were in the cages. Yeah, children's zoo. It was children
He
in the
had monkeys and
Okay.
anacondas and all sorts of stuff. But
zoo. Hey, Craig. Hi, June.
no, what was suspicious though is this girl charged him with it like
Petting
over
zoo.
a decade ago. It happened, and she couldn't remember if she was 8 or 12. It was sometime in between her 8th and 12th birthday. So I don't know. He was going to court, and the jury got the COVID last year, and then they canceled the court. And I was trying to follow it, and they haven't said anything since.
That was
So
a
you-
long
you never
story.
Hold up.
It
Did you
started with
figure
Sam
out?
Scales, and there was a book involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you
Well, I
figure
wanted
out
to
what-
learn about.
Did you figure out what paint you were looking for?
Yeah.
Well, I've never talked to him since that, and it's
Okay,
not
I can
that
tell
I
you-
don't want to support him,
It's
but I don't
two-part-
want to really support that type of stuff.
Two-part epoxy. That's what we use. Two-part epoxy.
The stuff I've been using.
Well, you can buy two-part epoxy that is for potable water.
And you just mix
You mix
the
a
dyes in it.
You mix a resin with a paint solids. Yeah.
I have a whole lot of these. I've bought like 25 different colors.
Well, that would probably paint one of those bricks behind you. That's about it.
Well, this is just the dye.
I know, but it's equal parts for what we use in the tanks.
I got you.
Yeah, because that behind me, that's painted with two-part epoxy for potable water, and they have all sorts of colors. So
See, that's what I wanted to figure out how to do the browns and grays, like to match the barks and things.
Yeah.
And that's what I really, and maybe the guys, it's going to be on, we'll see if we can do it live on one of our shows some night. And if I can't, I'll just have to do it with videos. But I'd like to learn how to do it and show people how to do it. So that's been one of my goals.
That'd be
So
good for
two-part
next week.
epoxy.
yeah,
And maybe well, it's going to take me probably a little bit of time just to order this stuff. Darn it. Skipper, I don't have a piece of paper.
most major
Can you
paint
write that
stores,
down?
most major paint stores, you can buy this stuff from. It's not cheap. I'll tell you that much.
Is it called aquatic or water? Or
You know, if you go to Aquatic Ecosystems, Pentair, it's now Pentair, but you go Aquatic Ecosystems, Pentair, they sell a line, you know, that can ship to you. But most big, you know, paint distributors are able to get it as well.
Well, thank you, man. You're awesome. Well, I see these guys, you know, or I look at the
That's our
aquariums
med
all the time
secretary.
Yeah.
yeah, and you're amazing. But at the Tennessee Aquarium, and the colors never fade.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they're
yeah.
using good stuff.
Yeah.
So is that special paint that you bought just for that?
It's kind of like a rubber.
Ed.
Ed, you showed them tubes.
Oh, this is just the powder that you put in the epoxy.
Oh, so we use a
This
liquid.
is-
We actually
Yeah,
use is a two-part liquid.
This goes in to these.
Yeah.
And then depending on how much I put in, and it says like the darkness by how much, if you put,
Oh,
you know,
so
3 shakes, 2
you're
shakes,
doing
1
it.
shake. This is just a powder that goes into the 2 parts. See, like this one I made, I've practiced with purple. I've made glow in the dark. Well, I don't see any of the others, but
So
you know,
if
just
he
practiced
uses
with
if
it,
he
so.
uses that 2-part epoxy, what paint does he need to get for it? Doc.
I bet this
Well,
powder
it's a
will
special
still work.
epoxy paint.
An epoxy paint.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I bet this epoxy
So,
powder dye will work.
Yeah, some of them will, some of them won't. They don't distribute very well in some of the epoxies. They clump up. That's one of the problems you have. So you have to make sure it's the correct. It's really the liquid paint that you use. It's more of a solids. It's not really a paint.
Gotcha.
But AAA and Amateur Aquatic Addiction wants to know who Dr. Mysterio is. Anybody know who Dr. Mysterio is? I mean, that's the name I use. But he was a character on Doctor Who.
No, Spider-Man also.
Oh yeah, but I like
Not
Doctor Who.
Mysterio. Yeah. Just Mysterio.
Yep.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
it is
remember
just
him from Doctor
Mysterio.
Who. What's that?
It is just Mysterio in Marvel
Yeah.
and Doctor Mysterio and Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Weird. I bet he's English.
I thought it was the same.
Yeah, he was only
English
on for a
people
couple
sound
episodes 3 or 4 years ago. So
Did you get into like Doc Savage books when you were a kid or anything, Doc?
no,
Remember those?
as a kid, I never read. That's
Oh,
that's why I really never developed the habit of reading because I just never read as a kid. Outside the books that your reading assignments in class. I was a kid who was always outside, who never.
Me too, but I mean, outdoors, nature was always my thing. But reading too. My mom was a real strong reader. She was always constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all she did, though. I mean, that's her entire life was reading. So I think I picked it up from her because I read hundreds, and I on Goodreads I have like 1,800 books, something like that, finished.
Wow.
I give myself a goal of 100 books a year.
Wow.
And I don't often get it, especially not recently. Recently, I haven't come close. But I did a lot of years. I got a couple years I did get it. Other years I got 85, 86 books, around there.
My goal's 6.
It's always been a heavy reader. And
If
why
I
did I
get
get so
through,
good?
I'm doing well.
I always made time for it. And part of the thing I'd like to do is I would kayak over to the sandbar and read a book. I'd put my chair right there on the shore. There's nobody around. Nobody can come around, except people sometimes would pull up their boats and be partying and stuff. And I'd, of course, join in on that. But I would sit there and just read in the sun, read my book, and sit there and drink a 12-pack of beer. And that was a perfect day for me.
12-pack?
Oh, I love reading on the beach.
One of my favorite things.
Anytime I don't go to the beach nearly as much as I used to, but I used to go to the beach and make sure I read a book. Just laid on the beach. Oh, it was awesome.
It's a good way to escape, but it's also a good way to, it helps with vocabulary. If you get something that's going away, and a tan. Yeah, I always like the sun.
Ooh. I got so badly sunburned, my feet turned purple one time reading a book. Because I put suntan lotion on everything but my feet. And it was really weird because the sides of my feet had sand stuck to them, but the top of my feet, just the top, had no lotion on it. And it turned almost purple.
That's not
so
good.
bad.
Remember those football shirts that had all the holes?
little holes,
in them?
Yeah.
I wore one of those one day while we were working outside. And so my back was to the sun for most of the time. I was working. I was doing some landscaping or something. And my back got burned so bad that it like huge blisters all over my back. But at first, when I first took my shirt off, it was just all those little red dots. And I had dreams for years after that some type of insect had bored into my back and dug out a bunch of holes, and I poured water down my back and it went in each of the holes and got the bugs out. It was a weird, very strange. For years, I mean decades after that, I'd have that dream, all because of those holes on my back from the
crop
tan.
top football?
No, but it was the same idea.
Did it
same
idea
idea?
Right here?
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember
Practice
seeing those
jerseys?
too.
The practice jerseys. Yeah, it was just like that, but not the crop top. It was the same type of thing.
When we were in
Too much
Prince
acid
Polynesia a
cost-
couple weeks ago, the very first day I went snorkeling with the students, I didn't wear a hat or a hood, And that night, where it's a couple, I got a bad sunburn on top of this bald head. And about 3 or 4 nights later, it just started peeling. The head just started peeling. And I rub my hand like this on it, and I look at it, and it's just skin on it. It's like, oh, man.
There's a comedian, a bald comedian, who does that. He puts a wet paper towel on his head, and he said, "Ever had a sunburn like this?" And then he peels off the whole thing in one big sheet.
I'll have to remember
Yeah,
that
I've
one.
actually been there. Us gingers, we tend to burn a little bit.
I'm super white now. I mean, look how pale I am, but I was never like this when I lived in Arizona. And, even when we first moved up here, I mean, I have pictures of me. Hold on. We'll continue to talk. I'll try and find this one picture because it looks to me like a Renaissance, type thing. But you guys keep going and I'll try and find it. It's funny. It's Michelle's behind me. And I've got a spatula in my hand. I look like I'm yelling at whoever took the picture. I think it was her mom who took the picture.
The way they made us read, how I want to say it's not made us. One of the ways they encouraged us to read books was a program, and what it was is if you read so many books, you got stars on this thing. But then you would get, after you get so many stars, you got a free personal pan pizza at Pizza
They
Hut.
did that with me.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That was nationwide. Yeah, they did that. My kids
I was about
did
to
that.
say that too.
My kids had that.
My books then were Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm all for kids reading books like that because it encourages them to read.
Sure.
You got to find a book that you're passionate about, a genre, no matter what it is, comic books, anime, anything.
My daughter has that entire Goosebumps series now. She's went and got all the books. She's got all of them.
There was another. I still have the books. There was another one. It was hardback book, and it had a lot of the Huckleberry Finn and a lot of your tall tale, not tall tale.
Samuel Clemens stories.
I actually still have the books are up in the attic. But anyways, that was another set of books I always got. But today on the news, believe it or not, there's a school district not over the mountain from us. They put a vending machine in for kindergarten through second grade, and it has kids' books in it. If they say they do really good in school that day, or maybe they do it by the week, I didn't listen to that part. I just thought that part was cool. They get this gold coin. Whenever they get this gold coin, they go to the vending machine, put the gold coin in, and pick what book they want, and
Nice.
they get the book.
That's cool.
They should be saving those gold coins because gold's worth a lot more than books.
This was the house we rented. This is New York. Look at that big old belly. But I mean,
Is that Adam LaRue?
I don't know who that is.
Adam LaRue.
I don't know who that is. It sounds familiar. That's me. And Michelle's back there, so I'm yelling. Somebody who took the picture with. But anyways, that was here in New York. Even so, even in New York, I still was outside all the time. I just like the picture.
Don't take a picture of me.
Michelle's in the background going, "What the?" That house was huge. It was a general store that had been turned into just a house. We rented that for 10 years before we bought the house we're in now. That thing was massive. The attic still had the old crane that you would use, with all the gears and stuff, the pulleys from it was built in 1836, I think. And just off to the side to where Michelle's hand is pointing was the garage, and the garage used to be a blacksmith shop. So there was a lot of that stuff there too.
That's pretty sweet. I remember that picture. Every time I see it, I feel like you're telling me to stay away from the cheeseburgers. They're mine.
Every time I show that, I feel like you and I would probably get closer because I totally look like somebody you'd hang out with and say fingers.
You would. You missed a beer in the other
And
hand.
you say yin.
It was
yin.
You was sitting there somewhere. That beer, I'm sure the beer was there somewhere. All right, you can take that. Let's get rid of that. Fee, I'm in upstate New York. I'm right between Rochester and Syracuse, right on Lake Ontario. It's like right out the window here. Right in the middle between Rochester and Syracuse.
Good night, the Savannah Darter. Good seeing her back in the streams again.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
she sent me some stickers this week, and they're amazingly awesome.
Oh, which reminds me, Ed, also Pegasus Arena said something about, now I forgot, it was in the other stream, and she said something about stickers, sharing some stickers. I'm sorry, I forgot what it was. I think she was going to send you a message about stickers on Facebook or something.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
Grant.
awesome. I still have, she sent me a 4-leaf clover. She encapsulated, that's not the right English. She put in a little medallion. A 4-leaf clover for me. That's so cool. I'd never actually seen a real live 4-leaf clover that was like from a 4-leaf clover. You know, I've seen 4-leaf clovers that were genetically made to be 4-leaves. But this is like one from a 3-leaf clover that turned into a 4-leaf clover.
Interesting.
Does that make sense? I'm trying to find what that Adam guy's name. Or
what does he play?
He's a YouTuber. He goes to all over the United States traveling in his
And I
van.
look like him in that picture?
Oh, it's called The Daily Woo.
Woo!
I don't want to get demonetized, but this is just from his video today. Okay, I can't do more than 15 seconds or he'll get demonetized.
I'm not monetized.
He'll get banned.
No.
He'll just
Adam
come back
DeWoo
in another
might come
stream.
visit you.
I've always be around.
He'll call his
Adam
next stream the Bottom Feeders.
Yep.
Ooh.
So
Everybody, no, never mind.
everybody's been a bottom feeder in their life, but anyways,
I was going to say something about eating bottoms.
well, that too. But Cora Works asked if I have any monster fish. The biggest fish I have, well, they're still growing out, will be the Star Sapphire cichlids. And I found my 75-gallon tank for them. So that will be picked up not this weekend, but next weekend.
Now, did you get those? I know you got those originally from the Clash, but then you had some issues with that first batch. Did you get more? What was the story there with
The
those?
story behind it, back in 21, the first Clash I went to, Veterans Aquatics had them. And I was like, they had the fish in the fish show, the adult version of it. It takes about 3 years for them to get that big and to get that color. So I was like, well, I want that fish. Well, I go in there and they had them. It was Veterans Aquatics. I messed up because they needed harder water. And I've talked to Doc about this. I pretty much have RO out of my tap pretty much. So I did not compensate for that. But I learned more about it. I talked to Peplin, and I got my second batch off of Peplin.
Pooplin. His name's Pooplin. You got to call him Pooplin from now on.
It's not nice.
And
Because he's a Jets fan?
No, because he called me Rico Stank. So he's Pooplin. If I'm Rico Stank, he's Pooplin.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep calling him Peplin because I don't want him to start calling me something worse.
I
Still
know,
calling
right?
me Ed.
It's going to happen. You got to just preempt it. You got to hit him now while it's early, and it's only been 5 years, so you got to hit him.
Yeah. So I had some discussion with Brian, and I was like, dude, I don't know what I did wrong, and I felt so bad. And then I found out about my water, and what I mixed with my substrate is aragonite. I just mix it in, and I haven't had an issue since. Luckily, I still have a bunch of that left from the bag that I ordered. So whenever I get that tank and the gravel, I'll just mix it in with it too.
And that's going downstairs?
Yeah, it'll be in the basement.
Yeah.
It's actually going to be in the same place where they're at now whenever I stream down there. But right, they're still in the 29 gallon, but I had to put a hang on the back filter for filtration. I was like, man, this thing's getting real dirty quick. And since I did that, it's even better for them. So they keep growing, so I got to get that tank. I was looking for a while, but I've finally found one for a pretty good price. And depths unknown, Jason's giving me a stand.
Nice.
It's awesome.
It's good to have friends.
It is very good to have friends in the fish fam.
If you see the hair algae that's in this little 5 gallon, see it's hidden behind this, and it's this way, right behind this pine, and the hair algae in that 5 gallon, almost the whole tank is hair algae right now. The shrimp are loving it, but the whole thing is just pretty much hair algae. It's just a huge ball of it there, and the shrimp are working their way through it. And I need to, but it was hidden, so I haven't been messing with it, and I really need to get some work done on it.
I have a tank that grows big balls of that.
Big balls of fire.
You would
Hair algae.
Hair algae is Cladophora. I used I didn't call it hair algae in the last stream, but that's what I can grow as well.
Hulk pubes.
Catches my inler. Only the female inlers get caught. Their gill plates get caught in it. I have like one female. Whenever I don't clean it out and I let it grow for a while, I find a female caught in it, and they die in it.
Oh.
So, Fee, if it was me, you're trying to grow algae for your nearite snails. You're using rocks on a jar and a windowsill. So a lot of your windows block a lot of the UV that blocks a lot of stuff that it would need to grow algae. I would move that out and put a light over top of it. And your algae will grow in that. For what I think, that's what I would do to try to do it. Put a light over top of that jar and have it on for like 8 hours, and you'll start growing algae in there.
Well, if you want to keep your nearites in the best condition, they go in salt water.
Yeah, that's what they breed in.
Yeah. And you can grow algae really easily in salt water.
That's also true.
I've never worked with brackish or salt ever.
So I always wondered, I get these, whenever you have them, you get the white dots all over everything.
Yeah,
Well,
those are the males. I mean, that's the females laying eggs.
Right.
Yeah, the little tiny calcium
Right.
white dots. Yeah, that's females laying eggs.
And then we were talking about that on a stream, and then that's when I found out that they breed in saltwater, brackish water. I was like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Do they lay their eggs in fresh water still, though?
Yeah.
But they're not
Oh,
viable.
dang.
Yeah,
Just
they can lay, but they're not viable.
Okay.
Is there a way to tell if it's a female or a male?
You pull up their skirt.
So
Yeah,
what if you took those eggs out right away after they lay them and put them into brackish water or salt water?
No, because they lay on surfaces. So maybe if you
Took out the whole thing.
Yeah,
Let's
but
say
as soon as
the guy
they
with
lay,
coconut.
the water, because of the osmotic pressure, the water will go into the eggs and they'll die.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious if that was something I could do. I'd never even thought about it until just now.
Yeah.
Because I do have narites.
Yeah. But
and I bought some. Go ahead.
They are sexually dimorphic. You can tell males and females. And what a lot of people do is they'll first put them in a jar and see who if there's egg layers, then they'll start separating them out into different jars to see who lays the eggs and who doesn't. And then they will only put the males in their tanks.
I don't mind the little white dots. It reminds me of sesame chicken. What was I going to say? Siamese algae eaters, man. I bought some in October. They have gotten huge so quick. I mean, I know they got big, but I didn't realize how fast they grow. They're in the 75, and they just took off. They're like growing.
Is it the Chinese one?
It's the Siamese one, not the Chinese one. The Siamese, they actually are Siamese algae eaters.
Did you see Annette is saying, are we talking snail talk?
Yeah. Yep. As soon as sales. Yeah.
Now, does Annette sell snails?
No.
Annette, you're going to have to help me find a boy snail.
So Brooklyn Bell, what she was doing with her nearite snails, if you remember, this is a while ago, she had a jar and was putting them in to figure out who the egg layers were.
Wait,
What'd she call them?
Didn't I just say that?
Yeah, you said that, but I remembered somebody was actually doing that.
What did she call the jars too? She had names on them. It was funny.
Purgatory.
Is that that?
Mm-hmm. It was like jail.
Yeah,
It's like
I'm familiar with purgatory, but I thought there was something else. Maybe it's once she figured out what it was, she still kept one of them in a jar or something that had a name. It was something.
I don't remember that part. But when Doc was saying that, it triggered that. I was like, wait a minute, somebody was doing that. Because she don't like the white spots.
Yeah. I could probably get my Mama Hercules, a rabbit snail.
I'd like some of those too. I'd like some of those too.
They're neat.
That's cool, Paul. Paul's Siamese are about 6 inches long and still graze on the algae. I heard that they stop once they get a good size, or at least slow way down, I should say. So that's good that they still are.
I think they get spoiled off of fish food.
So I got a bunch of, back at the Triple Crown, I got a bunch of Java fern off of Paul. It had blackbeard algae on it. I put it in there in this tank behind me, and the flying foxes, true algae, Siamese algae eaters, whatever, they ate it off. It's gone. Like
I thought the flying fox was not the true. I thought that was the.
Wait, Ed, what word did you use?
I had one Corridora.
No, there's no word as Corridora.
Oh,
Corey, it's
Corridorus or Cory. The singular of Corridorus is Corridorus.
Well, I had one of them eating the blackbeard. It was so cute. Because, all of them, I have like 12 of them, but there would be one that would sit up on this little piece of wood that was growing it and just nibble on it.
Well, that's one of them ones that thought it was an algae eater.
Yeah, I liked it.
That's different.
It was a bandit one.
Those Siamese algae eaters, I think, was a good addition to this tank because I have Denison barbs in there, and they sort of have the same look to them. I know that doesn't sound like they do, but they're torpedo shaped fish, and they've got the middle stripe there, and they look like cousins. So I think they match well with the Denison barbs in that tank. And they really the algae eaters school heavily. They always are right by each other. That was a nice addition, I think, to the tank. I hadn't had any ever before, so I got some back in October, I think. I don't remember when I got them. I think it was October. That's the last time I bought any. I got it from Aquahuna too. It was like $26 shipped for 6 of them.
That
so
ain't bad at all.
No, it wasn't the price. I like the Aquahuna prices. I mean, I've never had any problems. I've ordered from them 14 times, and I've had 2 DOAs that they took care of. One was a shrimp, and I don't remember what the other one was. But see you, Grant.
Grant, I'm still the best. I want you to know.
You're going to enjoy that talk also. Sorry.
What's the talk?
Probably Corridorus and Plecos.
How to get a bod like a rock.
Or that also.
Oh,
he was a nice guy. Eric's a nice guy too. I did get to meet him at the Keystone Clash last year. Not this past one, but the one before. I just don't want to hurt Chris's feelings.
When I met him, it was a complete disaster.
Oh yeah.
James and
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Well, James, he was selling stuff at one of the Cincinnati swaps, and he had these not Corridoras, but some other type of Corridori. I don't know.
Corridori? Go ahead. You call them Corridori. That's fine.
This ain't
he had like they looked like Cory cats. They looked like the orange lasers, but they only had a partial orange laser on them. And then so I was looking at them, and I was thinking, these look like a hybrid gold laser. I don't know if I want this. And then James was looking at a Pleco we had that hadn't been named yet, and James is like, what type of Pleco is this? And he said it hasn't been named yet. And so we're both thinking this guy's just got a bunch of hybrid fish he's selling in orange juice containers. And so we walked away, and then after we left, we found out it was him, and they were all legit fish. And we couldn't go back because it was like during the COVID, and you had to wait in line and go all the way through. And we were the first ones in line because we stayed at the hotel that it was showing, so we were like the first for everything. And by the time we got back through, everything was sold. He didn't have a single fish.
Yeah, he goes collecting also.
Yeah.
All the speakers that I've had the honor of meeting have been pretty decent people and very interesting to talk to, with the exception of one.
I'm sorry. I tried to be nice to you.
Do better. Yeah.
He didn't meet you in person yet.
Yeah, Skipper knows who I'm talking about. I don't want to name names because that's just...
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But he knows. Stephen White, hello. Brother Dan is here, and Brother Dan was one I was talking about when you were talking about living in Spain. Dan was born in Spain, too, so I thought you guys would have a lot in common. And if you want to be like Brother Dan in any way, you can send me chorizo and cheese from Spain, and I will accept that. And that,
Yeah, but chorizo from Spain doesn't even stand up to Mexican chorizo.
It's different. It's totally different. And I like them both for different reasons.
I like the Mexican chorizo because when you cook it too long, it's just a pile of grease. That's when you know it's good.
I like that with eggs. That's almost every time I have it with eggs. That's the only way I usually make it.
Or potatoes. Oh man, that's my mouth.
Well, it's always in a breakfast burrito. That's how we just always have. But the Spanish ones were more like an Italian sausage, a firmer,
Exactly.
They were so delicious. And you're welcome, Carlos.
I had a friend from Spain named Javier Mengoza. He's a professional singer here in America, and we like to help him make videos and stuff. And he went to SLU on a soccer scholarship. Well, nevertheless, he's like trying to become a professional athlete, and everything he says is in Spanish. And I'm like, dude, you need to start hitting the Mexican restaurants, and stuff. And it turns out he's a big racist. Spanish people don't think highly of Mexican people, or at least he didn't. And I'm like, I couldn't believe this. And I'm like, why are you singing in Spanish if you're a big racist? And I never went to another one of his shows.
That's a native language.
It's different.
I know. He almost failed. Okay, in college, he failed Spanish because he was so mean to the Spanish teacher, always correcting her because she was Mexican and he was Spanish. And he was like, you talk like trash and all this. And I'm like, he's a horrible human being. I thought he just had a problem with her. But he had a problem with all Mexican people.
Yeah, we talked about
the different.
In the last one we talked about different forms of
the Puerto Rican and And Brother Dan says, "I will never watch a stream with you in it again, Doctor."
I know that's just personal. I'm a Mexican. I think chorizo is chorizo. Your chorizo is much different. I'm sorry, Stefan, that you have Taco Bell in Seville. That is not Mexican food. I'm sorry.
I love Taco Bell.
Yo quiero Taco Bell. I wonder if in Spain they have little Chihuahua still, as the mascot for Taco Bell.
I wonder if they call it
Oh,
Tex-Mex.
that's funny.
Yeah, it's Tex-Mex. Yeah.
It's not even Tex-Mex though. It's like Tex trash. Tex greasy trash. That's wonderful.
It's
I
to
like
Mexican food like American Chinese food is to actual Chinese food,
yeah.
right? It's Mexican inspired.
Yeah.
Here's my beef with real live Mexican food.
Real live as opposed to dead Mexican food? I mean, never heard it called real live Mexican food.
I don't like how they don't do sour cream.
They have a crema in Mexico.
But it's more like a cheese, right?
No.
It's
It's
almost
not
like
sour.
a queso cheese.
It's more like it's a white.
Yeah,
it's not
it's
a
like
sour.
Yeah, and it's very disappointing when you're a guy that eats a lot of sour cream on his Mexican food.
That's an American
the worst thing I had,
the
worst Mexican food I ever had was Yucatan food. And because I like to try whatever's native, when I go somewhere. And it was like burnt peanuts with bananas. It probably wasn't bananas, it was probably
plantains.
The big, plantains with peanuts.
I like plantains.
And it was all burned up into a gel and on some type of something.
No, those are called black beans, probably.
Oh, it made me
those are
just
nasty.
gag. It was horrible.
I like black beans.
I was like, I think I need to stick to Mexican food. Nothing personal, Yucatan people.
Even though Yucatan's in Mexico.
Even though it is Mexican food. Different type of Mexican food.
They would probably argue it.
I gotta tell you,
I don't know if they even accepted their currency in the Yucatan.
I gotta tell you,
it's part of it's the United States of Mexico, right? That's what it's called, and so that they would have to. Yes, it's one of the states of Mexico.
But I mean, I think it's
Skipper, it's your screen, but you don't talk. Okay,
I'm
you just listen.
Sorry.
You're talking about all that authentic Mexican food. I'm gonna tell you, I had a buddy my Mexican buddy in the military. He was from San Antonio, Texas, but he was closer to the border of Texas and Mexico. His mother is actual Mexican, and he brought the food up, and he brought some tamales up. And he brought her salsa up. So I was like, all right, this is great. Well, I'll try it, which I'm like you. I like trying the ethnic foods from everywhere. I'll try it once. If I don't like it, I won't eat it again, but I'm going to try it. Listen, I was like, every time you go down there, you come up with those damn tamales because they were great.
Tamales are so hard to make.
It's different when it's made by her. Okay. I said, but I'm going to tell you, keep that damn salsa down there because I'm tired of my ass feeling like it's breathing fire. Because it was good, but it was so stinking hot. It's crazy.
Tamales, Dr. Awesome. Seasonal for you? When you said you didn't eat it when you didn't speak Spanish when you were a kid.
No. Yeah. We would have tamales every Christmas Eve. That's a big Mexican tradition. Christmas Eve and New Year's.
I said that, and somebody said no, tamales are year round. They're not seasonal. I'm like, no, it's very
because my mom and aunts would prepare it, and it took long time to put the masa on the corn husk and everything. And personally, I like everything that goes into a tamale. But
just not
together, I just don't like the taste. Maybe it's the texture. I don't know. But
the texture,
I could eat everything that was in it, but I just didn't like them.
The corn meal, the outside. Yeah, I know that's what a lot of people.
The whole bit.
I don't eat the corn husk. Yeah.
You don't eat the corn husk.
Chili and sour cream.
Man, I'm hungry again. I'm gonna have to eat something before I go to bed now.
Eat some of that spaghetti you forgot about earlier.
Well, make sure you have a wooden spoon that looks like a little spatula thing.
Do what? Do what now?
Eat it with a wooden spoon. Do you have problems eating with wooden spoons?
Yeah, I don't use wooden spoons. I mean, I would never. I could stir with it, stir with it, but I couldn't ever put it.
Yeah, one of these kinds.
Fuck you.
You chased him away. You're terrible.
He literally left.
Aw.
He went to throw up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rico.
You'd have to call tomorrow and grumble and apologize.
Yeah, he'll be good.
He's never
I'll
showing up
text
on
him and
Skipper's
said I won't
stream
stick anything
again.
else in my mouth. Okay, wait. I gotta close out this.
Oh, that was great. Oh my. Damn it, Rico.
Come. Whoops. Come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No
Please.
more
Popsicle
things
sticks in your mouth.
will go in my mouth. Okay.
And Paul says, "Is that any way to treat your buddy?"
That's
Yeah.
right.
Like I would do that.
You should be singing "Baby Come Back."
You're so lucky. He's so lucky. I was looking for a popsicle stick when he told that story. I mean, I was.
Well,
I'm sorry.
and
I'm the one who started it, so I'm sorry with the.
I also have little ones.
You know, hey, don't be showing. What if he's in the? What if he's watching
know,
right
but-
now? And you just said.
I'm waiting for the middle finger to show up in
I
chat.
know.
I wonder
Love
if
you,
big
Rico.
matchsticks bother him. Wood matchsticks? I don't know.
Yeah, someone asked before in the other stream, does chopsticks bother him? And we never said anything about it. So probably doesn't use it since he doesn't eat sushi. So, or no, he does like sushi. Ed doesn't eat sushi.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's enough fat in it for me to enjoy.
Well, you need to eat toro, which is the tuna belly, which is really fatty. It's good.
Maybe if they make a bacon one.
You can
They could take some bacon and put some rice in it and then
Pork belly.
cover it with honey.
How about a pork belly?
You could tell them.
I'm also not allowed to eat kelp anymore because of the vitamin D in kelp.
Oh, well, they have soy wrappers too. You don't have to eat the algae wrappers.
That sounds great.
You can eat spam masubi, which is a Hawaiian thing with spam. It's a spam sushi.
That would be wonderful. I would eat that.
It's not bad.
Yeah, and I've tried it. I'm not afraid because of it being raw and whatnot. I'm just really dig the flavors. The flavor profile's not, and I'm not a big rice guy.
So,
if I have rice, it better be Mexican rice because I don't like any other rice.
I
If
get
that
it.
makes sense.
No,
Wild rice. I like wild rice.
I'm telling you, that rice that my buddy made. So whenever I was in Diego Garcia, I went to the village. I'm gonna tell you, them guys eat. I'd love to have their metabolism. I'm just saying. And we would go catch fish. We bring it back. We caught shark. It was like a sand shark, and they made a soup out of it. The shark didn't get that big, and I was like, "Man, this is great. What is this? You caught that earlier?" I'm like, "What? This is shark?" I was like, "This is great," but their white rice is not any white rice I've ever had before. I don't know how they do it, but it is the fluffiest and stickiest white rice ever. And it's very good. And then Spanish rice, yeah, I love that too. But that white rice, you can't beat it.
I've got a question to both of you guys, and mainly to Dr. Anthony, because he probably really knows. But cilantro.
Yeah.
Is that really a big thing in Mexican cuisine?
It's regionalized. I mean, so it's more. I mean, we always use cilantro growing up. My mom did. My grandmother did. So it may be, a regionalized thing. So I don't know.
I don't like it at all. I found out I was watching one of the Bobby Flay shows where they try to beat Bobby Flay,
Yep.
and he saw that the person was using cilantro, and he said that's one of the herbs you have to be careful about, because he says a lot of people it tastes like soap to
Yeah.
them, and some people tastes wonderful. And I'm
Yeah.
a soap guy, I think.
Yeah, my dad couldn't eat it.
Bummer.
It tasted really bad for him. And so, once my mother found that out, she stopped using it. But yeah, it's something
that's
I
awesome.
use. It's something I use, and you use it. Peruvians use it too. It's something in Peruvian cuisine. So it's regionalized no matter where you're at.
It's probably my Eastern European roots.
Yeah, it's my dad's French roots.
Bummer.
I figured there was a secret to that rice.
Well, I asked Rico to come back, and he said he's going to bed.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Sorry,
something
guys.
later. But if you ate pork grinds before, right?
Chicharrones. Yep.
The Filipinos make that too. And I've always had the pork grinds. You go to a supermarket, whatever.
The really airy ones that are light, you bite into them, there's nothing there.
Right.
Yeah.
You have an actual homemade pork rind from anybody that makes it homemade. It is the best.
So got some fat on it, some meat.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not like you're eating air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh man, that stuff is great.
Yep.
Like that.
That's Mexican chicharrones, the same.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a store by us that you can get the airy kind that they make on right there, or you get the stuff with the fat and meat still on it.
Yeah. Now
I have to buy it without my wife knowing, so.
Oh yeah.
She doesn't let me eat that stuff.
So what at the homemade pork rinds? What is it? Yes, crackling. Oh my! Don't get me started.
Yeah, cracklins.
Oh,
in Texas, cracklins.
Oh. What? Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. Scrapple.
I had scrapple when I was in Pennsylvania, giving a talk at the Lancaster club a couple of years ago, and I thought it was going to be more garlicky, more savory taste. It wasn't something that I really appreciated, and I like most foods.
What did you put on top of it?
I just tried it by itself.
No, you got to add maple syrup to it.
Oh, okay.
When you add maple syrup to it, it is I'll eat it without it because I don't know, I like it.
Okay, Skipper, tell Renee, come see Skipper. Say, come see me.
Skipper?
Yeah, it's Skipper.
Renee, come see Skipper
and Ed.
Hi.
That'd be awesome. Oh, hi.
Hi.
This is
How are you tonight?
my wife, the big boss, Renee.
I'm not the big
And I'm
boss.
going to tell you, she's way nicer than him.
Yeah, she's a lot nicer.
Did you get our big thank you that we put in our newsletter to Skipper's Aquariums for the fundraiser? The Christmas party was a huge success for the kids down in Iquitos.
Oh, yeah, I did get that. Thank you.
I haven't put the video together. I was going to put the video together, and I just haven't.
Well, that's because you've been traveling.
Yeah.
Well, you guys did a great job. You really did. Everybody that was a part of it, you did a really good job. And those kids, that's their Christmas. It made a big difference.
Yep.
Thank you. I mean, I really wanted to do that for you guys, for the Amazon Research Center, for the kids, and everybody had fun.
Well, I'm just gonna send out an email with some pictures and stuff so everyone can see it, and you'll get it in your email. But and to say we're gonna do a big thank you again to Skipper's Aquariums and everyone who participated in the live auction. But it did make a big difference, and for those kids, we actually ran out of gifts. We were short
six or seven gifts.
And so Carlos had his son go on his motorcycle into town and buy 7 more gifts and come back. So everything was okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Yep.
You got to make that video, bud, because
I'm going to. Yeah.
I've been wanting to share that like crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, that's great. I'm glad that worked out very well
Yep.
for you guys
Yep,
down there.
it did.
That's awesome. Great.
So you guys live
What?
streaming?
Yes, this is a live stream. Yes.
So other people watch me?
Yes,
Yeah,
there are other people watching.
watched, other people heard you, and they
Yeah.
also shared.
550 people.
Yeah,
550 people.
Oh
Mhm.
dear.
No, we've already run off some people.
Oh, okay.
We already ran off one of the hosts,
Oh, who's that?
Rico.
Oh, ooh.
Ed did.
Yeah.
Rico has a aversion to popsicle sticks or tongue depressor.
Oh, really?
Really has an aversion to them.
Oh, I wonder why.
I don't know.
Well,
And Ed put
I-
one in his
I
mouth
gotta-
and he left.
Renee, I got to tell you, that was a team effort that day.
No, I didn't do anything.
They're running-
Oh, for the auction.
Oh, that was a team.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about for Rico to run off Rico.
Oh,
Oh,
I
no,
know.
that-
I know.
that was-
I know it was a team effort because I was watching Anthony and listening to all of you guys doing it. You guys did a great job. I mean, seriously.
Well, we had some practice throughout the year with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'd been doing auctions, so
Well, and before that, we were talking to Carlos about the Christmas party because we've been doing it for years. But I didn't. So it was like about 3 weeks before the auction, and I told Carlos, I said, "Look, Carlos, we're going to have to figure out a way to be more cost effective." I said, because we just don't have enough money to keep putting the costs have gone up for everybody. Everyone's paying more money post COVID. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to figure out how we could do this tight budget, right? And then I said, I got back to him. I said, "Never mind. They raised the money."
That's awesome. That I love that feedback. That makes it even that much better.
yeah. Because
Okay.
literally, we had told them a couple of weeks earlier that we just can't afford to do what we normally do. It's been a tight year for everybody, and so having to buy those new aquariums after Ed cursed the ones that I built before,
No.
that put a little crimp in our budget for this year for everything there. So yeah,
I will tell you, the village kids, they start lining up knowing the Christmas party is going to be there hours before it even starts.
yep,
You see, one of the things I loved about it was helping the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause that's a great thing because to give the kids a good experience on that day,
Yeah.
whether they celebrate or not,
Yep.
How they celebrate it down there, that's the great thing.
yep.
So
Because
they have a clown he entertains them and makes them all stand up and dance and turn around. Then they had dancers there, and then they had cake
and punch. Yeah,
and each kid gets a little gift too. It's either a girl gift or a boy gift.
That's what it was all about. It's bringing
Yeah.
happiness
Yep.
to the children.
yep.
That may or may not be able to get something.
No, most of the village we're in is really, it's a poor village. So, we help them as much as we can, the village itself during the year. But, this is the one time where we do something for the kids. So
Sometimes I'll walk down to the bodega,
the
and
little
they have
store that
this
they
little
have.
store, and they have ice cream there, and the boys will see me coming, and so they know I'll buy them an ice cream because it's so it is expensive,
Yeah.
right? So I said, okay, but you have to line up, and I said, and what do we do with the wrappers? No basura on the ground.
No trash on the ground.
Yep.
They have to pick it up. So the village did a big trash cleanup every day.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And they cleaned up everything. And so this is,
We're having a little effect on them slowly, but surely.
It's baby steps, you guys. It's baby steps,
Yeah.
but it's making a difference.
That's
Yeah.
great. That is awesome.
Hey,
Love
I'm on the live stream,
All
not
right,
you. What are
bye.
you taking over for?
Well, I was going to talk to you about that afterwards about getting that video out, but now you have to because
No, I have to. I mean, yeah.
she made it live. You got to get your ass.
That's right. Thanks a lot, Renee. You told them I have to get the video out. Now I can't make you a liar. I can make myself a liar, but not you. Yeah,
No, don't make her a liar. Jesus,
Uh-uh.
you live with her.
I know.
You don't want to do that.
Yep.
No, that's great. I'm very, very glad that worked out for them. I'll do it again next year. I don't care.
Yeah, I think that it'd be something we could do every year for sure. Yeah.
Because me personally, I feel the Amazon Research Center is a great thing for the fish hobby because of what you do down there. Okay, and I will be down. There will be a time I will be down. It's not going to be this year. Next year, I'm going to make that a 2024. Skipper's going to be in Peru.
Okay, a priority.
Don't forget, we also have to go to Dan's Fish.
Yeah.
Wait, Dan's Fish or the Amazon? You know, who knows?
We were going to do it. We were going to travel across the top of America.
Yeah.
And hit all the people.
Oh, I forgot.
But yeah, I mean,
forgot about that.
I would love to go down, but
I'm sorry, Dan, but I'd love to go to Peru instead.
Yeah, go to Peru while you have your health.
Yeah,
and you can enjoy it.
We could have a fish fam reunion in Peru.
Ed, you're going to Peru.
Yeah, have the bottom feeders in Peru.
I'm too poor to go to Peru, but I would be there in spirit.
I'm poor too, but damn it, I'll save money for it. I don't
Just
care.
get a ticket and I'll put you up in
I have
the
a
door.
passport.
Okay,
I do have a passport.
Listen, all you need is a passport, a ticket.
That's it.
And a good back.
That's right.
Ed, we're both screwed. So
hey, stop spending all the chat money on your little craft stuff. I mean, I probably, if you wouldn't spend on craft, you could have enough money in 2 months for that trip.
What? He better not say have a good back. I can be the guy with the bad back that just stands and watches everybody, which would be happy. I'd be happy to do that.
I'll bring the back brace.
We make it easy. You know, we make it easy.
I can't twist anymore at my waist, or if I do, there's a chance I'd be in a wheelchair. So
no, you can't be dancing too much then, I guess.
No, well, I don't have a feeling in my right leg either. So
okay,
well,
so
I can move my big toe. Hey,
that's
so I
good.
can drive.
Ed, you could be my supervisor then, I guess.
That's why I'm here. If I wouldn't have had my accident, I would probably still be working. Well, I'm sure I'd still be working because I really enjoyed my job, but I wouldn't be part of the fish fam probably for another 10, 15 years. So it all works out.
Yep.
I became part of the fish fam because of my mental status at that point. And then I got stuck here. And I love it. It's great.
Paul, you don't need rabies shot to go to Peru.
I thought that was funny.
I don't bite. Okay, I don't bite.
Really?
Yeah.
That's only when he has a purple beard he bites.
Yeah. I'm going to do that this next week for my first day of the semester. I'm going to do a purple beard for my students.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh my God. When I saw that, I was like, what the hell is this?
I've never died. I emailed Ed, texted him 100 times, never emailed me back because I wanted to know what beard dye to use. So because he never did anything, I just bought some on Amazon, and it lasts for about a week. That's all it lasts for, about a week.
Really?
Then it's called semi-permanent hair dye. Yeah, really semi-permanent.
That's what I
use. A week it's gone.
That's what I use. I have to put it in every week.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it's because it grows so fast anyway. Your facial hair grows. When I used to have all dark hair, it didn't matter. But now that I've got so much white, you see the roots real fast.
I love how my red beard.
Do you have my phone number now? Do you have my phone number?
I don't have. I told Skipper I don't have anybody's phone number because I lost my phone in French Polynesia, and so I just got a new phone yesterday, and literally I have nobody's contacts anymore. Not even my own family. My brother, I don't know his phone number by heart, so I haven't called him in 6 weeks now.
Yeah,
that'd be terrible if I was the first person programmed in your phone.
Well, actually, the first person programmed in my phone is Skipper because he texted me right when the day before I got my phone, and now it's on my new phone. His text. So His was the
feel
first
so
number.
privileged. I feel so privileged.
Yeah,
I will send you his number again.
yeah.
I totally
And
forgot about that when you said that to me.
his
It
number
is so
is the
much
first
easier.
that was inputted and the first that was deleted.
I figured. Okay.
Wait,
First
I am so
message
terrible
the
with the
second
social
time.
medias.
Listen here, you little shit.
Is Corey?
And
Hey,
I
hi, Corey
apologize.
Dorables. I haven't emailed her back either. I'm terrible.
God.
She,
You got that from Ed.
I took some Corey Doris to her before I left for Peru, and she emailed me, and you know me,
Matter of
I'm a
fact,
doofus.
she was the first person to receive, wasn't she? The fish.
Yeah, because she's local, so I just we met an hour away from each other, so we're up on her big screen TV.
Look at how many unread messages I have on my email.
Oh my gosh!
I should work on that.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Delete
Yeah.
all and then
I-
start over.
But what if somebody sent me something important I was supposed to read? I just can't. I have to read every one of those. I just don't want. It's going to be so hard.
Yeah. You're gonna have to start massive deletes. Well, I haven't talked to him in 6 years, so this is 5 years ago. So that's okay. I'll delete him. Oh, this person died 2
something
months
important
ago,
to
so I
tell
can
me.
delete all their emails.
What if, like, my best friend told me he had a daughter or something 3 years ago? I
Yeah.
need to find out eventually.
Paul Soltera, you drive to my house from wherever you're at. Discus are yours.
That's a long drive because
Ooh.
he's from North Carolina.
Well, make a weekend of it.
A weekend?
Yeah.
Listen.
Just to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Paul, are you going to go to the Aquatic Expo that's in Charlotte? June
believe-
10th, I think.
Thought
If
he
you
was-
are, I'm planning on going. I want to go to Delilah's new place she works at too.
Oh,
I'm going to try to get John and Lisa and Lefty all to meet me there, and then we can all go out to eat afterwards.
Lefty will drive. He don't care.
Well, yeah, Lefty's already, I think, planning on going. So it's only 4 hours from me.
When is that?
So it's either June 6th or June 10th. It's like that weekend in there.
Mark Stelson says, Bunny said, my emails to you are number 11 on the list.
Nathan, I'm in California, so far from you, but you should have told me. I could have brought some when I spoke in Florida in December. But oh well.
Nico is such a good boy. Doc Ant, do you have a dog or a cat, or can you?
No, I want a dog, but my wife won't get me a dog. She's not here right now to hear that, because we spend so much time out of the country that it's just not fair to to get a dog and pawn him off on somebody for 3 months and then come back and then 6 months later do that. So I think once we retire, we'll have a dog. I had a dog growing up. My wife had a dog with her kids. So, both daughters have dogs, so we're surrounded by them. So, someday we'll have a dog.
I got to tell you,
you
I got 3 dogs, and whenever we go on a trip, I hate asking somebody to watch.
Yeah.
And also, whenever I do that, that person has to feed the fish.
Yep.
Luckily, we have somebody that loves both, but I just like with the dogs, I just feel real bad because if I'd rather take them.
Yep.
We've done a lot of camping trips, and we always take our dogs when we go camping. But it just sucks. Like the end of this month, we're going on a cruise, the whole family, all 4 of us, and I can't take the dogs. I always think about what's happening with them, obviously with the fish too, but
Yep.
We had a bad experience one time. We went to Disney World and we took our dogs to a kennel.
Yeah.
The one dog we had at that time, whenever we picked him up, he had a bunch of cuts on him and stuff. And it was because of the kennel. And like, it's just hard for me with that since then.
Yep.
I think Skipper would be really cool with a parrot on his shoulder. Since his name's Skipper,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't that be neat?
It would be a cockatoo, though.
Or go really lame and get a cockatiel.
Yeah, Nathan, I spoke at Pasco, which was in Tampa. I'm supposed to speak on Saturday on Zoom at a club. I forgot the name of it. They haven't contacted me in the last month or so. So it's a club in South Texas. I think the Venice Club, I think. Don't quote me on that.
Well,
hopefully they'll email me and remind me.
Doc Ant.
Yes.
If you ever talk in Cincinnati, I will head that way too. That's like 3.5 hours north of me, I think. Maybe 4.
Is there a club in Cincinnati?
Yeah, real big one.
Well, then you should, send them my name.
That's Eric's Bodrock's club, I think.
Oh, okay.
So that'd be cool. I don't
they'll
know.
Put me on Zoom.
Oh, they won't have you come out?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of clubs still, believe it or not, a lot of clubs are still doing Zoom calls.
Yeah.
Zoom,
Cheapers.
But yeah, especially for the smaller clubs, it's a lot cheaper for them. It's not the same thing. Especially.
Well, they're a huge club.
Yeah, especially with my dry sense of humor. I never know how my humor goes over unless I can see the expressions on their faces.
Mm-hmm.
And that's,
I agree.
Yeah. I have a very dry sense of humor. And so, I don't know if people are saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that, or ha ha ha,
It's definitely different. Like, we'll just use this as an example because it's kind of like Zoom. It's definitely different on here than it is in person. But once you meet him in person, you get it. Does that make sense?
I'm a low budget speaker, So people that want a free guy ask me. The worst one I ever had was they did a eulogy right before I had to talk.
Oh, man.
The president who asked me to come had died the week before.
No.
Oh, my.
That is the worst. That's the worst story I've ever heard about someone speaking.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was rough. And, most of my stuff is light and dorky,
Yeah.
and so it's like, oh, man, that's rough.
That would be rough. So Scuba Steve said he'd pay to see you. Maybe he would pay enough for you to go to Peru.
Well, that'd be awesome. Well, Scuba, I'm going to do a talk sometime this year in Kentucky at not Lexington, at John's club. It's Lexington, and the other big city there is Louisville. Oh, it is Lexington. I'll be doing the talk.
Not Louisville, but Lexington.
You'll have to come. Yeah, you'll have to come and we'll eat pizza and have taco. Last time I went, we all had tacos afterwards, so that was pretty fun. And we'll still have to go see Grant. If sometime this month, if you want, I'm free for the next 2 months. So
when I was in Florida, they had we went out and we went out collecting for a couple of days, and one day one of the guys brought Tennessee spicy fried chicken. Is it Tennessee or
Nashville?
Yeah. Oh, that was good. That was really good.
I've never tried it. I see it on the menus all the time.
Yeah,
it's got pickles on it.
Oh no, this didn't have pickles on it. No.
Oh, okay.
He bought it from like a grocery store, in one of the, the little whatever cafes they have in the grocery stores.
I'm about 2 hours, hour and a half from Nashville, and they sell that at all the restaurants. But I always see big like I think it's even fat pickles that they put on it up here, and it's like that just doesn't look good to me. But
You're not a pickle fan?
I like pickles on their own. I don't like pickles on my sandwich
Mm.
because all I taste is pickles.
I'm actually the same way.
I mean, if you were eating a sandwich and all you hear is crunch tasting pickle, it's like I'm losing all my other flavors. But I do like it chopped up like in chicken salad.
It's kind of like peanut butter in a dessert.
I got a comment on this fish thing.
What fish thing? We are a fish thing.
So Nathan's picking up an entire setup of 40 breeder, everything from sand to fish. Super excited. I plan on filming most of it. Please do. That'd be great to see. But
the second part,
it's 10 angels, 2 roseline sharks, 1 male betta, and a common pleco. The price is good, but that pleco, it's going to need more than a 40 down the road, just to let you know.
10 angels is a lot for a
40
breeder.
Yeah.
Especially if they pair up.
Well, not just that. If they all get full size, it's...
Well, somebody's going to fall in love, and then everybody else is going to be pushed to the other side of the tank.
Yeah. Even the big tank behind me, I have 3 pairs of angels in there that breed constantly, that the 6 other angels kind of hide in the corner because those 3 pairs occupy the territories there. So, yeah. And that's, 500 gallons. So
normally the rule this is the rule that I kind of learned when I first started breeding angels was to get 6 angels, and you normally get a pair out of every 6. That was at least that's what we said in the 80s the 90s.
That's the common rule for any fish. You get 6 fish, and percentage wise, you basically have a better than 50-50 chance of getting a pair out of them. Yeah.
Well, with 10, you might get 2 pairs, and then it'd be just horrific.
Yep.
So it's still exciting and cool that you're doing it.
Yeah.
We're not telling you not to. That's awesome.
I gotta look up what Mark's talking about.
Sulfur crested?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh, they're a gorgeous cockatiel.
Yeah, but it's when he says 1,000 of them, I'm thinking that means it's an annoying ass bird.
Cockatiels. Oh, cockatoos. Yeah, they're no, cockatoos aren't bad. They don't make much noise.
That's the actual.
Oh no! I'm thinking of cockatiels, but cockatoos, yeah, that's the big one. They squawk all the time.
The one he was talking about, Guts, the yellow and the feathers on its head. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Well, the white cockatiels also have a yellow crest too.
Yeah. The gray ones, yeah.
With the little pink.
Little peach on the face, yeah. Yeah.
That's what I had one of those growing up.
I had a pair.
It would mimic every bird. It would mimic like cardinals, bluebirds, everything. It was so funny how it sounded like I had a whole lot of wild birds in my bedroom.
Yeah, I had a pair when I was working on my PhD that laid constantly, but none of them are viable. And it takes a lot of calcium for birds to lay eggs. And I'm surprised they just didn't wither away because I didn't use, I didn't use the cuttle bone very much and supplement with calcium. But every other day I had 3 or 4 eggs, it seemed. This went on for a whole year.
What's the difference between the 2 and the teal?
The 2s are big, parrot-like. The cockatiels are much smaller. It's a much smaller bird. It's probably twice the size of a parakeet.
So the bigger one's the pain in the butt.
Yeah, because they're loud. Yeah.
Maybe that's why my dad got rid of it, because we used to have one when we was down in North Carolina.
And they're actually pest birds in Australia.
Really?
Yeah. They destroy crops.
Well, Are there cockatiels down where you live, or when you go down to Peru?
I've never
they
seen
live in that
cockatiels. I don't
area,
think
or-
they are. We have big parrots. We have the macaws. And the
Oh, they're so
parrots, oh
beautiful.
man, every morning we had a parrot. Carlos had two parrots, and every day, 6:30 in the morning, we'd be out drinking coffee, and you'd hear this stinking bird just rah, 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 and it'd do it all day long, and it drove me crazy. So finally, he
What
gave
about
it to one of our
parakeets?
workers, and the worker lives like 2 or 3 blocks away. We can still hear it, but it's not as loud anymore.
Right. It's not like
Yeah,
nails on the
yeah,
chalkboard.
it's because it was right across the street from us. Beautiful birds, but man, they just sound ugly.
I only had the one bird, and I'll never do it again because I just felt I didn't like keeping it in a cage. It ended up dying because it flew into my window and broke its little neck. And it just always made me feel bad keeping this little flying bird. I mean, I couldn't live out in Kansas. It was when I grew up in Kansas City, so I couldn't live
Yeah.
out in that environment. But it just made me sad. But I would love to see parakeets in the wild. How
Yeah.
cool it would be to see 1,000 parakeets all drinking water. That'd be
Yep.
awesome.
I had a girlfriend who parakeet would talk. I never heard of parakeets
Really?
talking. Yeah, because I was talking to her on the phone one day and hear this little, comical voice in the background. I
Right.
said, "What's that?" "Oh, it's my parakeet." I said, "Don't lie to me. Parakeets don't talk." Went over to her house. Sure enough, that parakeet could talk. And this is when I was an undergraduate in college, and I didn't know parakeets could talk. I knew parrots could, but never a parakeet.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, cockatiels are supposed to be able to if you work with them long enough, and I never got
Very
it. Just
bad. I let
mimicked
the dogs
other
out.
birds.
Who let the dogs out? Ooh, 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 ooh. Who let the dogs out? Skipper did. Skipper did.
See, Dr. Anthony, you're a lot cooler than me. You get to hang out with all those young kids, keeping you young, probably.
Spending 12 days in French Polynesia with 12, 18, and 19-year-old kids. It was like herding cats. I mean, I enjoyed my time, but 18, 19-year-olds, they have some crisis that you have to deal with. One day one person doesn't want to go in the water, next day someone else. They enjoyed it, I enjoyed it, but when we're in the airport in Tahiti flying out, one of my students came up to me and said, "Oh, Dr. Mazaro, what was your favorite day of the trip? What did we do?" And I looked at her, and everybody sitting around the table. I said, "Today is my favorite day of the trip because we're going home." They didn't like that at all. They thought maybe the day we took the extra snorkel through the passage and stuff, but nope, it was the day we left.
Well, I can imagine. One time I used to coach hockey,
Mm-hmm.
and we made nationals, and they had it in West Palm Beach, Florida. And it was like, I didn't even know they had hockey down there.
Yeah, in those days, yeah.
But having those boys didn't care at all. We got eliminated from the hockey tournament like that. All they wanted to do was play on the beach and have fun.
Yep.
And luckily there was like no girls because there was like every state sent 2 teams. So it was all boys. So I didn't at least have to worry about them chasing girls. But I mean, they just played football on the beach the whole time. They dug up a palm tree and put it in the back of the trailer because we brought a trailer down for all their bags. And then one of the kids' dads was really rich, so he had a private jet take them home. And on our way back, the trailer broke down, or the truck that was pulling the trailer. So we went back separately and left it at the mechanics, and all of our stuff got stolen out of the trailer. The only thing, they even stole the palm tree. The boys were all like, "Whoa, we wanted that palm tree." The only thing that wasn't stolen was my shin pads and my gloves because my shin pads and gloves were so old and smelly.
No one wanted them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But Yeah, that was not fun taking kids to a tropical place
Yeah, I had
and having
my
boys and girls.
my 12 students were 9 girls and 3 guys.
Oh, well, I don't know if that's better or not, but at least
Uh,
they
I had
not as
I
many
had
boys
rules.
chase the girls.
I had rules. My rule was no hooking up.
Yeah.
You know, because that's always a bad situation. Just, you have a fight in the middle of it, then you take sides, and yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
What? Sorry. Well, let's not go to Australia this time of year.
Well,
That's
this is their August or July
yeah. That's
for us.
we have a joke in our family, and I told our daughters. I said, I've already told your mother, so don't worry about it. 3 days, within 3 weeks after your mother dies, if I'm alive, I'm going to Australia. I'm going to see the Great Barrier Reef. So don't worry about it. Your mom already says it's okay. So yeah, Great Barrier Reef is on my bucket list, even though it's pretty much dying. I still want to see the Great Barrier Reef.
So what? What? She don't want to go there?
She's already been to Australia. She would like to go. Yeah, that's our both of our bucket lists. But if we don't make it before she dies, I'm going by myself.
It's cheaper that way.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Within 3 weeks, I'm gone. I'm not even, I'm not going to take her urn with me. It's going to be on her mantle still. I'm just taking off.
I just read a book about a month ago, and it was called The Deep, but it's not the original Deep.
Not the
book.
deep. Yeah.
Yeah. And this one's about a giant predator that comes up, and it ate all the great whites and the 5 gill sharks, I think, that are there.
Yeah. 6
Then
gills,
then it ate 6 gill, and then it ate the orcas, and then it started heading up and eating everybody else's big fish, and it just made me sad because normally I like reading books where they're eating humans.
Yeah.
I don't want one eating all the fun stuff that we love. It just was not a good book.
And
I just wanted to share that. It's a good thing it's a fictionary book because the Great Barrier Reef would even be worse.
so look, there's people asking if Saints Dust Aquarium is going to go live. I'm like, all right. If you want to go live, Saint, go ahead and I'll post a link in the chat, or the mods that are here can. We're going to make June a mod tonight, whether she likes it or not, because that's what I do.
June, let's get June's thing and let her see it.
Oh, by the way, hold up. I got something from June today. Oh, that's not good.
That's not good.
This cord got stuck.
Is it? Oh, it's still liquid, huh, Ed?
Yeah, it doesn't get hot at all, so it's gonna take a long couple of days. But yeah, it's
no air bubbles. That's good.
Yeah, it does a great job of pulling the air bubbles out. I think because it's so thin.
Yeah.
It really pulls them out.
Oh, you got
Pretty neat.
You got a green pleco plushie.
Yeah, I won the snail plushie and the betta.
Yeah, we're actually selling those green pleco plushies at the aquarium in Brazil. In Peru.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. We got some discus, some the snails, some plecos.
I got this phantom. I got a phantom.
Yep.
A blue phantom. That's pretty cool. So you guys now is the aquarium down there year round, or is it going to be seasonal, or how's it going?
No, it'll be year round. Once it's open, it'll be year round. Yeah. If anything, what we'll do is we decided probably on Wednesdays, it'll be closed to the public and just bring the kids from the surrounding school districts in to teach them environmental education. We're already doing that right now. We're going out to the schools and doing a presentation we have with our mascot, but we'll be bringing them into the aquarium once we open.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, are you guys close enough also to be able to get hit by a tourist area?
Oh, Iquitos is a tourist area. Yeah, that's a big tourist area, primarily for ecotourism, to go out to eco lodges and things. So yeah, we will be able to do that. I still want you put a LED light. That's coming to me. Since you didn't send me that discus.
I know, I haven't finished that.
Oh, really?
There is a goldfish in there. See the goldfish?
Yeah.
It just, and it's weird because when it got hot, the bubbles did start to come out of it.
Yeah.
But,
don't worry, Doc. I still ain't got my hat yet.
Yeah,
from him?
I'm a horrible human being.
From the Tennessee Fish Mafia?
Yeah.
Well, that's how the mafia works. We like to sit on things for a long time.
I'll quit.
Kind of like the guppies.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, the guppies are scary. If I'm afraid of sending guppies and they'll come back swimming with the fish because they're going to be dead.
No. Fish in those little mini water bottles, half with water or a third with water and the rest with air, they can probably last a week in there. Especially a little fish like a guppy.
And they're kind of an inler mix. I mean, they're a small guppy.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the females get pretty good size, but the boys all stay, large inler, medium size. Yeah. But I should have entered them at the show his show. I wish I would have entered them as inlers instead of guppies.
You have a show, Skipper?
Yeah, Keystone
Clash.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that was your show.
It's not mine, but I
didn't know they call it Skipper's Show.
I think it's going to end up being that way.
I can make it happen. I'm a very influential person.
With the Tennessee Fish Mafia, he can make it happen.
in Pennsylvania. But Amish people might be afraid of the mafia. Because the mafia wears black too.
Listen, they had a TV show called The Amish Mafia.
Oh, so they'll be terrified of us.
And it was so
that TV
fake.
show looked so horrible.
It was fake?
Levi was not Amish. I don't care what anybody says.
Levi is Skipper's uncle, so he knows Levi.
You're right, yeah. That was my uncle from back in the day. And he was probably younger than me. I thought, let's see here.
Skipper, are you going to be there Thursday night at the Keystone Clash?
Yeah,
we're going to go to Wing Night. We're going to all go to the Wing store or the Wing
store.
I'll be there Wednesday.
Okay, cool. That's when I get there. I'll probably be real late, though. I'll be coming in late because I'm going to drive all day. And I think I'm going to stop off at different pet stores on my way up just to look at things.
It's going to take you 24 hours to get there if you're going to stop off at the pet stores.
I know.
You're going to spend all your money before you get there.
I'm pretty good. Every time I go into a fish store, a mom and pop shop, I try to spend a little money just to help them. So I'll spend like probably $10 on a package of food at each place or something just to help them out. But I won't be getting fish because I'll be in a hotel room for 5 days or 6 days. Let's see. Wednesday night all the way to Monday. So all those days.
Well, there's ways about that. There's this guy that lives in Pennsylvania could have buckets with seasoned sponge filters in it that may help with the cycle. If you really wanted to get fish, it would show up Wednesday and they would be in his room. I don't know. I'm just saying that you could just rebag them and take them home.
Oh, you're talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I
so
am
do you have
gonna
a
be
mod
bringing-
in there or what? In your in the chat?
Yes, Squatty Aquati.
Because someone
June.
asked to have my my link go up.
All right, I'm on it.
Because Saints doesn't know me, but I'm actually Dr. Anthony. I just put Dr. Mysterio to be a joke. I'm at Amazon Research Center for Ornamental Fishes. That is my YouTube channel. And I'm going to start my live streams up again next Wednesday,
Ooh, awesome. What time?
12:30, I think, Pacific time. So 3:30 Eastern time. I'm going to do it from
Okay.
my office at the university.
I like that because I can see it then.
Why? Why can you see it then?
Because when you first did it,
It was at Mondays at 11.
yeah, I was 11, 12, 1. I was just getting off work.
Oh, okay. But you're blocked from my channel.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Nice try.
Okay. Okay. I
Well,
still can't
Wednesdays
figure
are
out.
my days off.
I still can't figure out why Eduardo is still blocked from me.
I don't know.
I mean, I've gone through everything. Went through my Google, went through YouTube, and I have no one blocked. And he still, I can't see anything he ever writes in.
Well, I think it's because of his name, because it says master.
Master of Aquatics.
So, but why would that only be blocked on my side?
Because you're the only master.
Ed
Master.
read me.
I'm
Ed
you
read me.
know,
Well, I've been wanting to talk to Eduardo and see if anybody's ever called him Ed.
probably, yeah.
I've been called Eduardo, Edvard, Edwin, Edward, Eddie. Hey, a lot of people used to call me Edwin just because of goofiness from the past.
I have a student.
Yeah.
His name is Evan, and I always call him Edwin. That's his nickname I give him.
Nice.
So I call him Eddie.
Eddie. Eduardo, you call him Eddie?
Yep. I said, listen, I'm tired of pronouncing this whole damn thing. You are now Eddie. And it's one of them jokes, when you do a stream or you're in a stream, be like, hey Eddie, how you doing? Listen, he's a good dude though. He's
Yeah.
Well, my sister used to call me Eduardo all the time.
I'm sure. Nathan says thanks. He wasn't subbed also, but he is now.
Thank you, Nathan.
So Wednesday, Corey Dorable is saying Wednesdays at noon 30.
Yep. So if Edwin subbed, that means I have 45 now. All right, 45 subs.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Oh,
you should be like way
dude.
better than that.
He got 619.
Do I have that many now?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. I thought I was still in like 200 or 300s.
The funnest one was when you had your whole classroom in there. Remember one time you had a whole bunch of kids there?
Really?
Yep.
See, I'm
maybe you walked into class. Oh, did you have a stream before a class and then you walked into the class with the kids and they were all sitting?
I don't remember.
I'm going to have to go back and look at it.
You got me confused with the other Dr. Anthony.
I don't think so.
Yeah. You
No,
have me confused with.
No, Eduardo did that. He was so.
Yeah, see, you have me confused with Eduardo.
Oh.
Come on, me and Eduardo. How can you confuse me and Eduardo?
Well, you guys both are. Look, you have fancy haircuts.
Oh yeah, fancy haircuts. Yeah,
nice beards.
I have no hair.
You're both
Eduardo
distinguished gentlemen.
actually was listening to a live stream. He was showing it to his.
Oh yeah, he he showed one of my live streams to
Yep.
his class. That's right.
That's
When
what
I was
it.
live streaming. Yes, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
we were
I
talking about
remember.
yeah, technically Doc Anthony was
yes.
part
Yeah.
of it.
It was
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, those are his kids, not your kids.
yes, those are his kids because we were talking about how to, internships and things of that
Yep.
sort. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yes,
Listen,
for
I
those
ain't
who are out
I-
there who have, college kids or you're retired, we do have internships and volunteerships at the research center. You get your way down there, and we'll put you up in our dorms and feed you and work you like a dog.
I was going to say, you better put their asses to work.
One of my students already applied, and he says, "What am I going to do?" I said, You're going to be digging our ponds.
Hey, can I volunteer? Can I volunteer to be the drill sergeant?
You can be the drills. That's my wife. I'm the nice guy.
In my younger days, I would have loved that though.
Can
That
I?
would have been
Can, I,
so much
can I
fun.
be her partner in crime then?
You can be that. You can sit back, glass of tea, and supervising.
Oh, listen, I'd give them orders. They'd be doing push-ups while they're digging.
Yep.
I'd do it for an English credit.
An English credit.
I'd do it for.
Yep, that's
Spanish
all I
credit.
need is an English credit.
It would be a Spanish credit.
Oh, well, that might still count. I don't know.
All right, I think it's time for me to go to bed.
Yeah, it's what time? 10 o'clock here, so it's midnight for you.
It's 1 o'clock here.
Oh, you're 3 hours.
1
That's right.
o'clock.
Yeah, both of you guys are 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Y'all have a
Okay.
good night. Thank you all for coming. Maud's doing your thing, and Lurkers, it's been sleeping like Patty, but see ya.
Yeah. Thank you, Skipper. Put me on.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ed.
I could have
And
said turning me
Rico.
on, but that probably wouldn't have been the best use of terminology.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.